I'm not asking for an explanation yet. I'm not asking for the problem to be swept away from my life. I'm asking first to be seen. God, see my distress, and in between the asking and the answering, just be witnessed. God, see my distress and the listed evidence of the suffering laid before the one who sees. Not fix it first, see it first. Not answer first, witness first. God, see my distress, and the seeing is the beginning. God, see my distress. I'm not invisible to you. God, see my distress, and what's true is the God who made me sees what he made go through this. God, see my distress, and the bliss of the scene, even unseen by everyone else. God, see my distress, and the shelf of the hidden suffering open before the God who sees. God, see my distress, and I'm free in the seeing to call you by name, Elroy. Hagar gave God a name, the God who sees. She was alone in the desert, and the trees of the wilderness were her only witness. God, see my distress. And the fitness of the name she gave fits every desert I'm sitting in. God, see my distress, and I've been in the wilderness long enough to need this name. God, see my distress. I'm not invisible to you. God, see my distress, and what's true is the God who made me sees what he made go through this. God, see my distress, and the bliss of the scene, even unseen by everyone else. God, see my distress, and the shelf of the hidden suffering open before the God who sees. God, see my distress, and I'm free in the seeing to call you by name, Elroy. See the private grief, God, see the hidden struggle, God, see the late night crying, God, see the thing no one knows, God, see my distress, and I agree with Hagar. You have looked with favor on my misery. God, see my distress, and the key of the seen life is God saw before I spoke. God, see my distress, and the cloak of the unwitnessed suffering is lifted. He sees. God, see my distress. Genesis 16:13. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me, for she said, I have now seen the one who sees me, the God who sees me. God, see my distress. Hagar was a slave, alone in the desert with no advocate, no witness. God saw. God, see my distress. You are not invisible, not to the God who named himself Elroy. The God who sees. And I believe you already have. God, see my distress, and the sound of the scene begins with he looked this way. God, see my distress, and the day that God turned his face toward what I was suffering. God, see my distress, and buffering nothing from his view, the full picture he sees. God, see my distress, and I'm free. Elroy, you saw me. I was never unseen. Elroy, the name she gave in the desert, the name that outlasted the season, the asserted truth about the God who found her in the wilderness. Elroy, you are in the loneliness of the unwitnessed life met by this name. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the same God who saw Hagar is the God who sees me here. In the wilderness he sees, in the unwitnessed moment he sees. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and no one is invisible to you. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and I'm seen. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the clean truth of the scene life is you look this way. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the day of the divine witnessing is every day. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the way into the scene life is through the naming. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and I'm claiming the name she gave as the name I need today. She didn't ask for restoration first, she asked to be seen. And the first gift of the God who sees is he looked her way. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the day I name you Elroy is the day the invisible ends. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the bends of the scene life curve toward the God who notices. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and I'm seen. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the clean truth of the scene life is you look this way. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the day of the divine witnessing is every day. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the way into the scene life is through the naming. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and I'm claiming the name she gave as the name I need today. Elroy, in the hidden room you see. Elroy, in the unwatched suffering you see. Elroy, in the silent grief you see. Elroy, in the unspoken pain you see. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and free is the word for the one who knows they're seen. Elroy, you are the God who sees in between the distress and the relief. You witnessed it all. Elroy, you are the God who sees the call of the scene life is. Elroy, you saw me. Elroy, you are the God who sees. Genesis 16:13, you are Elroy, the God who sees me. She saw the one who saw her. Elroy, you are the God who sees. This is the name Hagar gave God in the wilderness. She was a slave, an outsider, a person of no status, and God saw her. Elroy, you are the God who sees. Whatever your status, whatever your wilderness, the God who sees has his eyes on you. You are the God who sees, and I rest in that. You are the God who sees, and combat against the feeling of invisibility. This name, Elroy, you are the God who sees, and I claim it over every moment of the unseen life. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and the strife of the unwitnessed ends at the naming. Elroy, you are the God who sees, and I'm aiming the rest of my life toward the God who always looked my way.
She sat in the desert the first time, pregnant and alone. And the God of the everything came down to the unknown, serving in the sand, and asked, "Where have you come from?" Hagar in the desert in the sun. Of a situation met by, I have seen your misery. Hagar in the desert in history. records. God saw the slave in the wilderness. The first desert God saw, the second desert God saw again. Hagar in the desert, and God always comes. Hagar in the desert, and I've been there. Hagar in the desert, and I'm aware that the God who found her is the God who finds. Hagar in the desert, in the kinds of wilderness that look abandoned, never are. Hagar in the desert, and the star of the divine attention was on the unimportant one. Hagar in the desert, and I run out of witnesses and found the God who sees. The second desert, Ishmael is dying of thirst, and Hagar can't watch in the worst moment of the mother's life. And God heard the boy. Hagar in the desert, and the ploy of the enemy is make them think God doesn't see the desert. Hagar in the desert, and alert is the God who hears what happens in the wilderness. Hagar in the desert, and I've been there. Hagar in the desert, and I'm aware that the God who found her is the God who finds. Hagar in the desert, and the kinds of wilderness that look abandoned never are. Hagar in the desert, and the star of the divine attention was on the unimportant one. Hagar in the desert, and I run out of witnesses and found the God who sees. The desert looked like abandonment, God was there. The desert felt like invisibility, God saw. The desert sounded like silence, God heard. Hagar in the desert, and the word that God spoke in the wilderness, I need it here. Hagar in the desert, and I'm clear. The desert is not where God is absent. Hagar in the desert, and the nation discovery is the desert is where God comes. Hagar in the desert. Genesis 21:17. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there." God heard the boy crying. Hagar in the desert. Twice in the desert. Twice seen, twice heard. The desert is not the place God avoids. Hagar in the desert. God see my distress. He already sees. Hagar in the desert. And God came to her. Hagar in the desert. And the star of the divine attention in the worst location. Hagar in the desert. And the nation of the seed in the desert belongs to this name, Elroy. Hagar in the desert. And I am Hagar in the desert, and God sees me here. Hagar in the desert, and the sheer gift of the scene is I was never alone in the wilderness.
There is a song that says, you echoed my lament, and you put my tears in your bottle in the spent. Grief for the unseen is counted by the God who sees. You count every tear in the unease of the wept life, witnessed at every weeping. You count every tear in the keeping of the record is the evidence of the attention. Not forgotten tears counted, not unwitnessed tears numbered. You count every tear, and God sees the record. You count every tear, Father. is missed. You count every tear, and I insist. No grief I have wept fell past your sight. You count every tear, and the night of the weeping was witnessed by the tear counter. You count every tear, and the fountain of the grief met by. He saw every drop. You count every tear, and the top of the bottle is God has the record of every tear I've shed. The tears in the car before walking in counted. The tears after everyone left accounted. The tears that no one saw recorded in his book. You count every tear, and I look back and find not one tear was wept past his record. You count every tear, and the word for the God who keeps the tear count is He cares. You count every tear, Father, not one is missed. You count every tear, and I insist. No grief I have wept fell past your side. You count every tear, and the night of the weeping was witnessed by the tear counter. You count every tear, and the fountain of the grief met by. He saw every drop. You count every tear, and the top of the bottle is God has the record of every tear I've shed. The tears that fell in public, you counted. The tears that fell in private, you counted. The tears that never left the eyes, you counted. The tears that fell for others, you counted. You count every tear, and I'm surrounded by the evidence of the attention. Every tear recorded, every tear, and the heart of the witness. Grief is in the hands of God. You count every tear, and the tried path of the tear-wept life held before the God who sees. You count every tear. Psalm 56:8. Record my misery. List my tears on your scroll. Are they not in your record? List my tears on your scroll. You count every tear. God keeps a record of your tears. Not one tear has fallen past His notice. You count every tear. God see my distress, and He counted every tear along the way. Not one was missed. You count every tear, and I'm not just seeing, I'm documented. You count every tear, and the tinted life of the distressed has the tear record beside it. You count every tear, and beside it, the compassion of the God who kept the count. You count every tear, and the amount of the documented grief in the hands of the God who sees. You count every tear, and I'm free. The grief was witnessed, every tear by God. There are things in my story that no human has seen, and I've carried the weight of the unseen. In the space between what I present and what I am, no one else saw this but you did. And the exam of the fully witnessed life begins with this admission. No one else saw this but you did. And the mission of the God who sees is witness the unwitnessed. No human witness but God witnessed. No human record but God recorded. No one else saw this but you did, and that's enough. No one else saw this but you did, Father. No one else saw this but you did, and rather than and spend the rest of my life unseen by people. No one else saw this, but you did. And the steeple of the divine attention is higher than what humans see. No one else saw this, but you did. And I'm free from the need for the human witness. God witnessed it. No one else saw this, but you did. I'll sit in the same life, even when no one else is looking. The private obedience, God saw it. The private grief, God witnessed it. The private sacrifice, God recorded it. No one else saw this, but you did. And I've submitted the need for recognition to the God who already knows. No one else saw this, but you did. And the shows I put on for witnesses, unnecessary with God. No one else saw this, but you did, Father. No one else saw this, but you did. And rather than spend the rest of my life unseen by people, no one else saw this, but you did. And the steeple of the divine attention is higher than what humans see. No one else saw this, but you did. And I'm free from the need for the human witness. God witnessed it. No one else saw this, but you did. I'll sit in the same life, even when no one else is looking. No one else saw the faith in the hard season. God saw. No one else saw the tears in the silence. God saw. No one else saw the obedience no one celebrated. God saw. No one else saw what the suffering cost. God saw. No one else saw this, but you did. And awe is the response to the God who misses nothing. No one else saw this, but you did. And trust in the divine witness is enough for the unseen. No one else saw this, but you did. And I mean, God's record of my life is more complete than anyone else's. No one else saw this, but you did. Matthew 6:6. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Your Father, who sees what is done in secret. No one else saw this, but you did. The private life is not the unwatched life. The secret suffering is not the unwitnessed suffering. No one else saw this, but you did. God see my distress, He already has. No one else saw this, but you did. And I'm documented. No one else saw this, but you did. And the tinted life of the unseen was always seen by God. No one else saw this, but you did. Odd is the word for the one who discovers the divine record. No one else saw this, but you did. And I've restored my sense of the scene too. God sees what people miss. No one else saw this, but you did. And this is enough to be known completely by the God who sees. There are moments when the face of God feels turned, in the distance of the silence, and the burned feeling of the unattended is the prayer. Don't look away from me, and the sheer rawness of the asking is the prayer itself. Don't look away from me, and the shelf of the performances is down. Just don't look away. Don't look away from me, Father, that's all I ask. Don't look away from me, and the mask is off. This is just what it looks like in here. the close. I of the God who witnesses I need it here. Don't look away from me. And I hear the psalm, he has not despised the affliction of the afflicted. I'm not asking for words today. I'm not asking for the resolution of the delay. Just stay, just look, just witness this with me. Don't look away from me, and I'll be honest about how much the looking matters. Don't look away from me and the shadows of the public face. Real here, don't look away. Close. I have a God who witnesses I need it here. Don't look away from me. And I hear the psalm, he has not despised the affliction of the afflicted. Don't look away. I know what I look like right now. Don't look away. I know this is not the strong version. I know the distress is showing. Don't look away from me, Father. Just stay, just see me here. Don't look away from me. Psalm 22:24. For he has not despised or scorned the suffering of the afflicted one. He has not hidden his face from him, but has listened to his cry for help. He has not hidden his face. Don't look away from me. The God who sees does not look away from the afflicted. Not despised, not scorned, not hidden. Don't look away from me. He has and he won't, God, see my distress. He's looking. Don't look away from me, and you haven't. Don't look away, and it's happened. The face of God turned toward what I was going through. Don't look away from me, and what's true is he hasn't hidden his face from the afflicted. Don't look away from me, and depicted in the psalm is the God who stays looking. Don't look away from me, and the booking of the divine attention is he never looked away. I've wrestled with the theology of the watched suffering, the God who sees all things, and the buffeting of the question, if you see, why didn't you stop it? The God who watched while I suffered, and the prophet of the question is the intimacy of the wrestling. The God who watched while I suffered, and the resting place is not the answer, it's the presence in the mystery. Not absent in the suffering, present. Not unaware of the suffering, watching. The God who watched while I suffered, and he was there. The God who watched while I suffered, Father was there. The God who watched while I suffered, and aware of every moment without the explanation yet. The God who watched while I suffered, and I've said the question beside the presence, and the presence wins. The God who watched while I suffered, and the pins of the theological need answers not enough. The God who watched while I suffered, and the rough version of faith is I don't understand, but he was there. Job argued with God, and God answered not from the tidy, but from the whirlwind. And the idea that the watching God owes an explanation is contested. The God who watched while I suffered, and I've tested the faith against the mystery, and I'm still here. The God who watched while I suffered in the sheer presence of God in the unresolved is the testimony. The God who watched while I suffered, the Father was there. The God who watched while I suffered and aware of every moment without the explanation yet. The God who watched while I suffered, and I've said the question beside the presence, in the presence wins. The God who watched while I suffered in the pins of the theological need answers not enough. The God who watched while I suffered in the rough version of faith is I don't understand, but he was there. He was in the room when it happened. He was watching when no one else knew. He was present in the night I thought was unwitnessed. He was in the suffering I thought he missed. The God who watched while I suffered, and I've kissed the tension. He watched and he loves me, and he was there. The God who watched while I suffered, and the rare gift of the honest wrestling is I'm still talking to him. The God who watched while I suffered, and the hymn of the still in relationship is the deepest testimony. The God who watched while I suffered. Lamentations 3:33. For he does not willingly bring affliction or grief to anyone. He does not willingly bring affliction. The God who watched while I suffered. Job 23:10. But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. He knows the way that I take. The God who watched while I suffered was not unaware. God see my distress, he saw, he was there, he still is. The God who watched while I suffered, and I'm still here. The God who watched while I suffered, and the sheer testimony of the survived is he was in it. The God who watched while I suffered, and in it with me was the presence that carried through. The God who watched while I suffered, and I knew nothing, and he knew everything, and he stayed. The God who watched while I suffered, and I've prayed through the watching season, and God was watching too. I spent seasons trying to be seen by people, in the effort of the region, in the steeple of the performance, for the human audience, seen by the one who matters most, in the obedience to the scene. Life doesn't require the human witness, seen by the one who matters most, in the fitness of the God-seen. Life exceeds what people offer, not overlooked by people, seen by God, not invisible to the world, seen by God, seen by the one who matters most, and that's the greatest sin. Seen by the one who matters most, Father, that's enough. Seen by the one who matters most, in the rough road of the unrecognized, walked in the knowledge God sees. Seen by the one who matters most, and I please the only audience that knows everything. Seen by the one who matters most, in the ring of the divine attention, outlast the human. Seen by the one who matters most, and I'm immune to the pain of the human unseen, because God sees the one who celebrates in the crowd, and the one who is overlooked there, equally done, in the knowledge of the God who sees them both. Seen by the one who matters most in the growth of the God-seen life is independence from the crowd, seen by the one who matters most. And the loud applause I waited for, replaced by Elroy C. Seen by the one who matters most. Father, that's enough. Seen by the one who matters most. And the rough road of the unrecognized, walked in the knowledge God sees. Seen by the one who matters most. And now please the only audience that knows everything. Seen by the one who matters most. And the ring of the divine attention outlasts the human. Seen by the one who matters most. And I'm immune to the pain of the human unseen, because God sees more than the crowd's attention. God sees more than the employer's notice. God sees more than the family's recognition. God sees more than the platform's audience. God sees seen by the one who matters most. And I'm freed from the performance for the human witness. Seen by the one who matters most. In the fitness of the God-seen life is complete without the crowd. Seen by the one who matters most. And I'm proud to be unknown by many and fully known by one. Seen by the one who matters most. 1 Samuel 16:7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. The Lord looks at the heart, seen by the one who matters most. The audience that knows the full picture is God. Every other audience sees the surface. Seen by the one who matters most. God, see my distress. And the God who sees everything that isn't us. Seen by the one who matters most. And I'll live for this. Seen by the one who matters most. And the bliss of the God-seen life is no performance needed. Seen by the one who matters most. And I've heeded the invitation. Stop performing, be seen by God. Seen by the one who matters most. And I'm on by the completeness of what God already sees. Seen by the one who matters most. And I'll please only the one who sees what no one else can see. There are cries that never made it past the throat, and prayers that were the silence and the note of the unspoken suffering that God somehow received. You heard what no one else could hear, and I believed. In the gap between the language and the knowing, you heard what no one else could hear, and I'm showing up at the altar with the wordless offering. The wordless cry heard, the unspoken prayer heard. You heard what no one else could hear before I spoke it. You heard what no one else could hear, Father, and I'm known. You heard what no one else could hear, and the tone of the inward groaning made it past the silence. You heard what no one else could hear, and the science of the divine hearing exceeds the acoustic. You heard what no one else could hear, the music of the unspoken distress, heard by the God who listens. You heard what no one else could hear, and listen, here's what the eyes do to know. He heard before I spoke. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, Psalm 34, and his ears are attentive to their cry. In more than the vocal prayer, the silent one is heard. You heard what no one else could hear, and the word for the hurt before it was spoken light life is known. You heard what no one else could hear, and I've grown into the confidence of the pre-speech hearing. You heard what no one else could hear, Father, and I'm known. Yeah. You heard what no one else could hear. In the tone of the inward groaning made it past the silence. You heard what no one else could hear. In the science of the divine hearing exceeds the acoustic. You heard what no one else could hear. The music of the unspoken distress, heard by the God who listens. You heard what no one else could hear. And glisten is what the eyes do to know. He heard before I spoke. Tell somebody he heard what no one else could hear. Tell the one whose cry is still inside, he heard. Tell the one who couldn't find the words, he heard. Tell the one who prayed in silence, he heard. You heard what no one else could hear. And the word of the testimony is God hears past the acoustic. You heard what no one else could hear. And the music of the heard light is playing in the scene. You heard what no one else could hear. And I've been known by the one who hears what I can't say. You heard what no one else could hear. Psalm 34:15. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. His ears are attentive to their cry. You heard what no one else could hear. Romans 8:26. The Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. Wordless groans heard by God. You heard what no one else could hear. God see my distress, and God heard it before you found the word. You heard what no one else could hear, and I testify. You heard what no one else could hear, and I won't lie. There were moments the prayer was just a groan. You heard what no one else could hear, and alone was impossible, because you heard what alone sounds like. No one else could hear. In the light of the known life is pre-speech heard by God. You heard what no one else could hear. And I'm awed by the God who hears what no human ear can catch. There are moments I survived and thought I survived alone. And looking back, the testimony that I've known, God was in the room and I didn't know it. Look, God was in the room and I didn't show it on my face, because I didn't know it was him. Look, God was in the room. And the hymn of the retrospective is, he was there the whole time. Thought alone, God was there. Thought unwitnessed, God was watching. Look, God was in the room. And the scene, life was always happening. Look, God was in the room, and I declare it. Look, God was in the room, and I'll wear it as the testimony of the retrospective scene. Look, God was in the room, and between the suffering and the survival, God was present. Look, God was in the room, and I've learned a lesson. The room that felt empty was the fullest room. Look, God was in the room, and the gloom of the apparent unwitnessed was never true. Jacob woke from the dream and he said, surely the Lord is in this place. And I did not know. Look, God was in the room, and the show of the divine in the ordinary place is the pattern. Look, God was in the room, and what has happened in the unseen moments is God. was in the room, and I've learned a lesson. The room that felt empty was the fullest room. Look, God was in the room, and the gloom of the apparent unwitnessed was never true. In the hospital room, God was in the room. In the room where I got the bad news, God was in the room. In the room where no one knew, God was in the room. In the room of the private grief, God was in the room. The God was in the room. And the womb of the hard season was inhabited by God. Look, God was in the room, and I'm awed by the retrospective. He was never not there. Look, God was in the room, and where I am, the room was never empty, he was always there. Look, God was in the room. Genesis 28:16. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. And I was not aware of it. Look, God was in the room. The room you thought was empty, God was in it. The moment you thought was unwitnessed, God was witnessing. Look, God was in the room. God see my distress, he already was in the room. God was in the room. And I'll testify to every room. God was in the room. In the tomb of the apparently abandoned, occupied by God. Look, God was in the room, and I'm more to discover. Not one room of my life was empty of him. God was in the room. And the hymn of the retrospective scene, he was always there. Look, God was in the room, and where is the word for the one who knows? God sees, God was in every room. He searched me and he knew me, in the knowing of the fully known is the growing of the known life, is not the adding of layers. Known completely, love completely in the prayers of the fully known. Don't need the performance. Known completely, loved completely in the dormant fear of the truly seen. Is what if they stop loving? Known completely, love completely, Father, that's the news. Known completely, love completely, and I choose to live in the known and love instead of the hidden. Known completely, love completely, and the bidden life of the God seen is no more hiding. Known completely, love completely, and I'm riding the truth of the complete, knowing into the rest. Known completely, love completely, and the best news is the knowing preceded the loving. He knew me before the word was on my tongue. He knew me before the thought and the lung of the known life breathes the scene before the speaking. Known completely, love completely, and the seeking of a love that survives. The full knowledge is here. Known completely, love completely, in the sheer safety of the known and loved is the truest rest. Known completely, love completely, Father, that's the news. Known completely, love completely, and I choose to live in the known and loved instead of the hidden. Known completely, love completely, and the bidden life of the God seen is no more hiding. Known completely, love completely, and I'm riding the truth of the complete, knowing into the rest. Known completely, love completely, and the best news is the knowing preceded the loving. Known at my worst, loved completely. Known in the distress, loved completely. Known in the hiding, loved completely. Known in the failure, loved completely. Known completely, loved completely and neatly. The fear of the fully seen is answered. He loves the scene. Known completely, loved completely. In between the knowing and the loving is no gap. Known completely, loved completely, and I'll wrap my identity in this. Known fully, loved fully, known completely, loved completely. Psalm 39:1-4. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You know it completely. Known completely. Completely. The God who sees the distress also sees the worth. Known completely. Love completely. Yeah, known completely. Love. Known completely. Love completely. Known completely. Love complete. And I rest here. Known completely. Love complete. And the sheer peace of the fully known in love is the resting place. Known completely. Love completely. And I'll face every distress from the known and love position. Known completely, loved completely. And the mission of the God-seen life is live known, live loved. Known completely, loved completely, and I've loved the God who saw my distress and loved me still. This album began with the cry, God seen my distress. And every song has been the answer. Nevertheless, the God who saw Hagar was the God who saw me. I was never invisible to you, and free is the word for the one who knows they've always been seen. I was never invisible to you, and the clean truth of the God-seen life is it was always happening. I was never invisible to you, Father Elroy. I was never invisible to you, and I'll employ this truth in every moment of the unseen feeling. I was never invisible to you, and the kneeling of the seen soul is different from the hidden one. I was never invisible to you, and the run of the God-seen life has always been the actual. I was never invisible to you, and the factual record is Elroy was always looking this way. Not in the crowd, celebrating moments only. Not in the public witness life. The lonely desert crowd was seen as clearly as the sanctuary. I was never invisible to you, and the weary soul of the unseen is released into Elroy. I was never invisible to you, and the ploy of the enemy was make them feel unseen. I was never invisible to you, Father Elroy. I was never invisible to you, and I'll employ this truth in every moment of the unseen feeling. I was never invisible to you, and the kneeling of the seen soul is different from the hidden one. I was never invisible to you, and the run of the God-seen life has always been the actual. I was never invisible to you, and the factual record is Elroy was always looking this way. To the one who feels invisible, this is for you. I was never invisible to you. To the one who's distressed when unnoticed by people, this is for you. I was never invisible to the one weeping in the desert like Hagar, this is for you. I was never invisible to you. The same God who saw her sees you. I was never invisible to you, Elroy. He has always been looking. I was never invisible to you. This is the final word of the album. Genesis 16:13. You are the God who sees me, Elroy. I was never invisible to you. The desert cry was heard, the private tear was counted, the room that felt empty, God was in it. The suffering that felt unwitnessed, God watched. I was never invisible to you, God see. My distress, He always did. He always will, Elroy, the God who sees. I was never invisible to you, and I carry this forward, invisible to you, and toward every future season of the unseen feeling. I was never invisible to you, and the kneeling position of the scene soul is forward facing now. I was never invisible to you, and somehow the truth of the scene changes the distress. I was never invisible to you, and yes, Elroy, you saw me. I was never invisible to you.